This points to something that maybe we should talk about here, and that is what's going to happen. It used to be, and I used to be a little bit in this camp, that we would have some kind of consensus. If one party won and everyone felt good about it, that we'd get some of this stuff. We get huge fiscal stimulus, we get infrastructure, we get some kind of tax reform and so on. I think the new scenario, given the incredible venom and scorched earth that's going on both sides, is that we're likely to have something very different. Hillary will win. The Senate, which used to be leaning Democrat, is now like 50-50. The Republicans might keep it by 1 or 2 seats. House will stay Republican. But what's going to happen? What might Hillary get through? Maybe an infrastructure, maybe some kind of small infrastructure program, maybe a few tweaks to Obamacare. But I'm telling you that there will be no Supreme Court justice ever, allowed by that Senate, and that I could just imagine that year after year. A Supreme Court justice dies or resigns, why don't just Supreme Court gets smaller and smaller? One thing I said a few months ago was that the loser of the election in 2016 will feel like an occupied country. You know what I mean? They will just feel like an enemy-occupied country, and they will behave accordingly. And I do believe, I wouldn't even be surprised to see the House drawing up articles of impeachment against Hillary Clinton in week 3. Mm-hmm. You could imagine it,
yeah,
right?
There's so many scenarios to think about.
So I see a tremendous amount of gridlock and dysfunction, and not a lot happening, which is dangerous because it's fine if on autopilot, the economy keeps chugging along and there's no crisis abroad and so on. But what if there is? What if the economy starts going down? As we have said many times, monetary policy is out of ammo. I mean, they really can't do anything more. They're kind of out on that zero. They're on the zero line. Well, the only way you create script and you do kind of monetize deficit spending, you do helicopter, whatever you need to do to get the economy going at that point, you cannot do without the executive and Congress working together. What if there's a foreign crisis? What if I can easily imagine that it could get so bad that the House would actually start. Now, Obama did a lot just through executive orders, and pretty much, the House left him alone. But I can imagine that you could have the House actually investigating, and formally bringing, charges and indicting and subpoenaing and so on. Executive agents that are trying to carry out the White House's commands and truly even suffocate and try to slow down even within the executive branch. It's going to get really nasty. And I do expect the markets to begin to reflect that.